Welcome to Deep Sleep Stories. My name is Matt. I know this podcast is quite new, but some of you have been following along for a while now. As you may have noticed, the narrator has changed a couple of times already in just a few months. The truth is, the podcast has been growing extremely slow, and basically nobody has left us any reviews so far. I'm here as the new voice of the podcast and would love to stick around, but I need your support to do so. Please, if you enjoy our content, it would mean so much to us if you could just leave us a review on whichever podcast platform you use. Now, take a deep breath and let's begin tonight's story.
Welcome to Deep Sleep Stories, a gentle haven where you can softly let go of the day's worries and drift into a realm of comfort. As you settle in, feel the quiet hush surrounding your space, like a warm quilt inviting you to curl up and rest. In a few moments, you will journey to a fairytale castle in Germany, where midnight snow settles like delicate icing on each turret and spire. For now, let your breathing slow, inhaling calm and exhaling tension. Notice your eyelids growing heavy and your muscles loosening. You've taken this time for yourself, and now all you need to do is relax. Let any lingering concerns dissolve, replaced by the smooth rhythm of your breath. Soon you will wander through a story of softly falling snow and silent, moonlit grandeur, where every gentle step leads you deeper into serene reverie. Imagine a tranquil evening sky, clouds drifting at their own unhurried pace. Let that image drift through your mind as you inhale a little more deeply, then sigh out any remaining restlessness. Inhaling serenity, exhaling the remnants of the day. This is your moment. If you feel any tightness in your shoulders, allow it to melt away. If your mind races with thoughts, let them slip into the stillness of the evening. You are safe, supported, and free to float on the gentle currents of rest. Now, when you are ready, you may let yourself glide away from the present and immerse in a quiet tale of magic and slumber. Feel yourself sinking into your bed or chair, cocooned by warmth, ready to visit a land where moonlit snow and enchanted towers promise a soothing lullaby. Let us begin. Far away in the soft hush of a Bavarian winter, a traveler arrives at Neuschwanstein Castle just as the final traces of daylight fade from the sky. The castle, perched on a hill and framed by snowy forests, seems both graceful and untouchable. A light blanket of clouds stretches overhead, veiling the moon until it glimmers like a pearl in shifting veils of silver. Snow drifts down steadily, each flake catching the moonlight in a tender sparkle. The traveler has come a long way, drawn by rumors of a fairy tale fortress whose spires reach toward the sky as though they might pierce the stars. Now, standing at the castle gates, they cannot help but feel a sense of wonder wash over them. Each turret stands capped with freshly fallen snow, like frosted icing on tall, slender towers. The grand entrance, with its ornate arches and decorative carvings, radiates a peaceful glow. Though the night air carries a hint of crispness, it also brings a hush so profound that the only sounds are the soft crunch of boots on powdered snow and the faint whisper of a distant breeze. As the traveler steps beyond the gates, their breath catches, not only from the cold, but from the sheer enchantment of the place. Tall pine trees line the path, their branches drooping under the weight of winter's gift, and the traveler's footsteps leave gentle impressions behind. Shadows dance in the corners, but they are friendly silhouettes, shaped by the softly shining lanterns along the walkway. Somewhere in the heart of the castle courtyard, a bell tolls faintly, marking the hour. Its note resonates in the stillness, seeming to hover in midair before dissipating into the softly swirling snow. The moon emerges fully from behind a passing cloud, illuminating the tall towers and angled rooftops in a silvery glow. The traveler feels spellbound, as though time itself has paused, so that this peaceful moment might stretch out indefinitely. With quiet anticipation, they move closer to the grand wooden doors. They are carved with intricate designs, delicate vines, flowers, and regal creatures from some half-forgotten legend. The door glides open silently, revealing an interior courtyard adorned with lanterns that cast golden halos in the dark. A subtle sense of warmth emanates from within. Once inside, the traveler's eyes wander across the high walls of the courtyard. Stone arches run along the perimeter, leading to corridors and staircases that beckon exploration. The patter of snow against the windows and rooftops weaves a soft lullaby, as though urging every visitor to slow down and linger. Under the low glimmer of moonlight, the castle takes on a dreamlike quality. Fortified walls transform into artful silhouettes, grand turrets into watchful guardians of some cozy kingdom, snow piles on ledges and windowsills, tiny drifts forming a pillow at every threshold. Although large and majestic, the castle offers a welcome akin to a gentle embrace. The traveler notices a softly lit corridor winding away from the courtyard and decides to follow its path. A single lantern hangs in the hall, throwing faint, swaying patterns on the stone floor. The walls here are adorned with faded murals telling tales of knights, princesses, and mythical forests. In the dim light, those painted figures seem to come alive, as if whispering ancient stories to any passerby. At a slow, measured pace, the traveler continues, feeling each breath steady and relaxed. The hall leads to a spiral staircase, its steps wide and worn smooth by the passage of countless feet over time. A wooden banister curls alongside, polished to a sheen by years of touch, reflecting a history of quiet footsteps, ascending and descending these very stones. With a faint creak, the traveler ascends the spiral staircase. Up and around, the steps carry them until they reach a small landing with a narrow window. Pausing, they peer outside, greeted by the sight of the courtyard below. Blanketed in glittering snow, the hush outside is profound, a scene lit by a solitary lamp, Flickering in the quiet darkness, the traveler rests a moment, hand gently pressed against the cool window ledge, letting the calmness of the castle seep into their bones. All sense of hurry slips away, replaced by contentment. Continuing up the winding staircase, the traveler eventually arrives at a larger landing that opens onto a corridor lined with tall windows, overlooking the landscape beyond the castle. Through each pane of glass, rolling hills stretch into the distance, their surfaces covered by snowy forests. The moon's silver glow catches on nearby treetops, and in the far distance one can just make out a gentle shimmering of frozen lakes. The scene is still and serene, cradled in winter's slumber. Each breath the traveler takes fills their lungs with a sense of deep peace. Following the corridor, the traveler notices a pair of grand doors slightly ajar at the end of the hall. With a gentle push, the doors swing open, revealing a banquet hall, now silent and empty, though it once must have welcomed lively festivities. Delicate chandeliers hang from the vaulted ceiling, their crystals capturing traces of moonlight. Long wooden tables stand in orderly rows, while tapestries depicting forests and mystical creatures line the walls. The hush in this grand space is comforting, as if the castle itself is inviting visitors to rest, to admire, and to breathe in the stories preserved within these very stones. Crossing the hall slowly, the traveler reaches the far side, where a smaller door leads to yet another stairway. This one ascends more steeply, winding up toward the heart of the castle's tallest tower. Each step echoes softly. The only companions on this journey are the traveler's own gentle breaths and the distant sigh of the wind brushing the outer walls. The tower's ascent feels almost like a climb into another realm, each rotation drawing the traveler deeper into the enchanting silence of midnight. At last, reaching the highest point of the tower, the traveler steps onto a small balcony. This vantage point reveals a panorama of snow-dusted rooftops and elegant spires extending in every direction. The hush of the winter night is even more pronounced here, as though the tower stands above the world's clamor. The traveler leans against the solid railing, gazing out over the vast, moonlit landscape. Directly below, lights from the nearby village appear as pinpoints of gold, flickering like tiny guardians against the cold. A river of starlight above seems to unite sky and earth in one grand display of nature's artwork. This moment of stillness, high above the sleeping land, feels both infinite and comforting. Snow continues to fall in graceful spirals, cloaking each turret in shimmering white. Eventually, a whisper of wind sends a gentle shiver through the traveler, reminding them of the warmth that awaits indoors. Returning to the stairwell, they notice a corridor leading back into the heart of the castle, this time lined with tall windows and plush seats. Settling onto one of these cushioned benches, the traveler looks out over the serene view. Gentle lamplight from within the corridor merges with the moonlight outside, creating a cozy, half-lit hush. The seat's velvet upholstery offers a soft place to rest, and the traveler remains there for a while, lulled by the hush and the mesmerizing dance of snowflakes. The corridor leads to another wing of the castle, less formal, with fewer decorative carvings on the walls. Here, the traveler encounters an unassuming door beneath a low arch, half hidden in a recessed nook. Curious, they open it to find a snug library, its large windows framing the snowy night beyond. Shelves full of old volumes line the walls, and near the fireplace stands a cluster of comfortable chairs and sofas, as though waiting for guests to cozy up beside the flames. The hearth is not currently lit, but a gentle glow remains in the ashes, illuminating the space enough to provide a sense of gentle warmth. In this silent library, the traveler's eyes trace the spines of stories from centuries past. Some are bound in leather, edges worn smooth. Others are newer, with gilded letters that catch the faint light. The traveler can almost sense the rich tapestry of tales contained within, each book whispering its own secret lullaby. The snow continues to fall outside, thickening the frosty blanket over the castle grounds. Occasionally, a gust of wind presses snowflakes against the window panes, which flicker with a soft tap-tap. The traveler, drawn by the quiet invitation of the library, settles into a deep armchair facing the window. Pulling a plush throw blanket from the back of the chair, they drape it over their lap and let out a gentle sigh of contentment. The hush in the room feels layered, as though centuries of stories, footsteps, and hushed conversations have shaped the air into a comforting cocoon. The only light is the ember-like glow from the fireplace and the pearly moonlight spilling through the tall windows. With a slow, calm blink, the traveler begins to drift inward, lulled by the combined warmth and silence. Before slumber can fully overtake them, the traveler rouses slightly, compelled to explore just a little more of this fairy tale realm. Rising from the chair, the traveler leaves the library and follows another corridor that seems gently lit by wall-mounted lanterns. Outside, the wind stirs the treetops surrounding the castle's outer walls, rustling branches weighed down by layers of freshly fallen snow. The corridor leads to yet another small chamber, this one a cozy sitting room. Within, paintings adorn the walls, images of snowy landscapes, royal hunts, and graceful swans gliding across a still lake. A small lamp in the corner flickers softly, casting the faintest shadows. A wide window overlooks one of the castle's courtyards, where a delicate veil of white has turned every surface into a whimsical scene. Through that window, one can see a corner of the courtyard's fountain. It is silent and frozen, its once flowing water now captured in crystalline stillness. The traveler finds solace in the view, appreciating the gentle hush that seems to cradle every stone of this place. Stepping away, they notice a narrow door at the far side of the chamber. Venturing through, they descend a short flight of steps that leads into a hidden corridor, almost secretive in its winding path. At the end, a modest archway reveals a small chapel-like room, lit only by moonbeams streaming through stained glass windows. Inside this chapel, colorful shards of light play across the floor, reflected from the glass depicting scenes of past kings and queens, knights and angels. The traveler feels a deep sense of tranquility here. The hush is profound, like the quiet breath of a cathedral late at night, where each footstep is muffled and each whispered thought reverently offered to the silence. Snow continues its patient fall outside, occasionally catching a stray moonbeam that highlights the swirl of flakes against the window. The traveler takes a seat on one of the small benches near the windows, letting the serene atmosphere wash over them until they feel their pulse ease into a soft, steady rhythm. After a time of reflection, the traveler retraces their steps, returning to the corridor. The route leads to a winding staircase that gently descends to a lower level of the castle. Now the architecture shifts slightly. Archways are simpler, corridors narrower. This section seems older, imbued with a sense of history only centuries can bestow. Reaching the end of one corridor, the traveler discovers a small kitchen, unexpectedly warm and bright. A single lantern glows atop a wooden table, and the air carries a subtle hint of spiced tea. Counters made of sturdy wood run along the walls, complete with handcrafted cabinets and neat shelves holding simple crockery. A large stone hearth stands in one corner, though only soft embers glow in its ashes at this late hour. Intrigued by the comforting warmth, the traveler steps inside and notices a large pot of tea kept warm near the coals. Next to it stands a small assortment of teacups, as if anticipating the weary wanderer's arrival. Pouring a cup, the traveler feels a wave of comfort drift over them, the fragrant steam rising in delicate wisps. Holding the warm cup in both hands, they lift it to their lips and taste a blend of chamomile and honey, sweetened by the hush of midnight. Each sip soothes, radiating a gentle warmth that settles in the traveler's chest and glides through the rest of their body. Outside the single window above the sink, the winter sky stretches black and star-dotted, while the snow steadily continues its graceful dance. The kitchen's lantern light flickers, casting a shifting pattern on the walls. The traveler, content and drowsy, sits at the wooden table, reflecting on the castle's mysteries. The teacup's warmth, the quiet hum of the night, and the hush of softly falling snow have a lulling effect. Each breath feels easier, deeper, as though the castle itself is guiding the traveler toward a peaceful state of mind. Time drifts lazily, measured only by the slow sips of tea. Finishing the cup, the traveler sets it aside and stands, stretching gently. One more corridor seems to beckon, visible at the far end of the kitchen. Its archway is wide, and a gentle glow emanates from somewhere around the corner. Strolling down that corridor, the traveler finds themselves in a music room. An elegant grand piano carved from dark wood and inlaid with delicate patterns stands near a tall, arched window. Scattered around are a few chairs lovingly spaced for an intimate performance. Though it remains silent now, the faint memory of melodies lingers in the air, as if the castle's walls themselves remember a tune from long ago. Moonlight illuminates the keys of the piano, giving them a soft, silvery sheen. A gentle hush underlies every corner of this space, as though the slightest sound might rise into a tender lullaby. Standing at the window, the traveler gazes out again at the vastness of the winter night. Snow continues in a steady hush, blanketing rooftops, trees, and hills in pristine white. The turrets of the castle, with their snow icing, look like something from a storybook, each spire a sugar-sprinkled tower. A sense of belonging fills the traveler's heart. This is a moment of stillness that offers safe harbor for a quiet soul. The traveler closes their eyes for a few moments, breathing in the hush, feeling their thoughts settle and soften, as though lulled by nature's own lullaby. Eventually, the traveler departs the music room and makes their way to a suite of guest quarters tucked away along another corridor. Passing each door, they notice subtle differences, some with intricate carvings, others with colorful glass knobs. Finally, they pause before a door that feels warm and inviting, carved with a simple motif of ivy leaves. Stepping inside, they find a small, cozy chamber furnished with a plush bed, soft rugs, and an ornate fireplace. Soft moonlight filters through the window, illuminating the room with a pale glow. A short stack of pillows rests against the headboard, and warm blankets are folded neatly at the foot of the bed. Here, in the welcoming stillness of the guest chamber, the traveler sets down any remaining cares. With a few quiet steps, they draw the curtains aside, allowing a full view of the moonlit grounds. Trees sway with the breeze, sending a gentle cascade of glittering snow into the wind. In the distance, the outlines of far-off mountains blend into the darkness, their peaks softly outlined by moonlight. The traveler lingers, watching the quiet motion of the winter landscape. The hush is so profound that each heartbeat seems to echo softly against the walls. When the traveler finally pulls the curtains to a close, the room becomes a cocoon of warmth and silence. A single candle on the mantel provides a comforting flicker, and the bed looks irresistibly inviting. The traveler glides across the rug, feeling each step connect them further to a sense of deep rest. With a slow exhale, they settle onto the bed, letting its warmth envelop them. Layer after layer of tension slips away, replaced by the drowsy peace that saturates this quiet place. Each pillow cradles the traveler's head, and each blanket tucks them into a gentle embrace. The silence of the castle accompanies them, a guardian for a restful night. As the minutes pass, the castle's timeless spirit seems to resonate through the traveler's dreams. It breathes alongside them, echoing in subtle creaks of old wood and the faint moan of wind through narrow windows. Snow continues its descent outside, a lullaby for all who slumber within these walls. Somewhere far below, a single lantern might still flicker in a courtyard, but for the traveler all is wrapped in calm. The scent of old stone and faint candle wax merges into a heady blend of comfort, reminding them of the many stories these walls have witnessed, each one whispered into the quiet watch of a winter night. Gradually, the hush weaves itself around every corner of the traveler's consciousness, allowing dreams to drift softly into view. Scenes of moonlit turrets, swirling snow, and hidden libraries. The traveler's breath slows even more, matching the gentle sway of the trees outside. In this serene state, the hours blend seamlessly, and a tranquil sense of safety enfolds the sleeper like an old friend's embrace. No hurry, no concerns, just the tender hush of a castle at peace with itself and the winter landscape that lovingly cloaks it. Beyond the windows, the snowfall continues unabated, layering the rooftops and towers with an ever-deepening blanket. The magic of the night seeps into the very stones, infusing them with a calm that even the passage of centuries cannot diminish. In the traveler's dream, those towers stand proud against a jeweled sky, each turret crowned in pristine white. The hush of the night resonates like the softest of lullabies, singing that all is well, all is restful, and all is as it should be. Now let the winds of slumber carry you deeper. Each gentle breath draws in the castle's peace. Each exhale releases any last murmurs of tension. The outer world fades into twilight's quiet hush, and the welcoming darkness of sleep gathers near. Drifting softly, sinking into a warmth that gently buffers any stray thoughts, you feel yourself become weightless. The arms of rest cradle you as the snowy moonlight glimmers just beyond the curtains. Safe within this dreamscape, calm and comfort bloom like delicate winter flowers, blossoming in the stillness of the moment. All across the castle, every corridor and chamber is hushed, embracing that same peaceful rest. The grand halls that once echoed with footsteps now lie still, softly lit by pale moonbeams. The hidden nooks, spiral stairs, and tucked away rooms breathe in unison, as though telling their stories only to the tapestry of silence. Nothing stirs except the occasional hush of wind through the parapets. With every passing minute, the traveler sinks more deeply into this cradle of slumber, lulled by the timeless lullaby of stone and snow. In the quiet glow of moonlight, the castle stands as a patient guardian of dreams. Turrets shimmer under a soft frost. Windows reflect silver glints of light, and the archways keep silent watch. Even the frozen fountain in the courtyard seems to rest in contented stillness, its sculpted shape outlined in a layer of starlit ice. Here the traveler's breathing slows to a tranquil rhythm, in harmony with the softness of the night, the hush of new-fallen snow, and the ancient wisdom held within these walls. Everything aligns into a gentle hush, as if the entire winter world has bowed to the sweet lull of night. the traveler's heart beats peacefully, matching the castle's ancient pulse. Dreams swirl like snowy flurries across a midnight sky, carrying the traveler deeper into rest. Shadows, once dancing in corners, recede into a comforting gray. Stars twinkle above the silent turrets, painting the sky with a quiet promise of dawn yet to come. Now, within this final hush, let yourself float on the current of sleep. The castle's story has woven itself into your own, each turret an invitation to dream, each corridor a path leading you toward the soft shores of slumber. Time dissolves into the slow swirl of night as you surrender to the irresistible pull of rest. The hush of Neuschwanstein Castle, the glimmer of moonlight on ancient stone, and the gentle dance of snow gather around you like a protective cloak. The world of thoughts recedes, leaving only the sweet serenity of this moment. The moon drifts behind a cluster of clouds, letting the stars reign over the sky. In the traveler's chamber, only the faint glow of ember light remains. All is silent except for the faint rustle of blankets as the traveler sinks into the deepest layers of repose. The castle, with its storied walls, cradles the sleeper with a kindness that transcends time. In the tranquil darkness, every worry melts away like a snowflake upon a warm hand. May this hush remain, guiding you deeper and deeper into rest. Let each breath grow gentler as the soothing arms of sleep fold around you. As the last glimmers of awareness fade, the comforting darkness takes hold. Outside the windows, winter night continues its peaceful vigil. Inside, all is calm. This moment is yours, a sanctuary of quiet renewal in which your breath and heartbeat form a lullaby for body and mind. Good night, dear traveler. May your dreams be tender and serene, shaped by the castle's silent watch and the snow's delicate lull. May peace follow you through every corridor of rest, like the soft glow of a lantern guiding the way. Sleep well,